Everyone got quiet, so I'm assuming I need to start. So, good afternoon. I'm Ryan Zudema, your Chief of Police for the Lynchburg Police Department. It's my honor and privilege to welcome everyone here today for our new officer swearing-in ceremony. I'd like to thank you all for joining us for this very special occasion. I want to let you know this event is streaming on Facebook, so if you have other family members or friends that want to view it afterwards, they can go back and see it there. At this time, I'll ask our new officers to join us. You can clap, absolutely. Prior to starting our ceremony, I would like to honor the sacrifice of Wintergreen Police Officer Chris Wagner. Please join me in a moment of silence in his memory. Thank you. I'm very proud to be a member of the Lynchburg Police Department. The LPD has been a part of this community for 218 years. Over these more than 2 centuries, thousands of women and men of the LPD have dedicated themselves to making this community an incredible place to be. Several of those who came before these new officers are here today. At this time, I ask all LPD retirees and former officers, please stand to be recognized. We are grateful for your service. None of us would be up here without people like you taking the time to mentor us when we were new officers like these young men and women here. I'm confident these 7 young officers will continue your legacy for many years to come. To our new officers, you're about to officially join us and become part of the LPD family. You're entering this profession at a time that offers both complicated challenges and unique opportunities to create a better police department and community than ever before. Each one of you holds the key to our collective success as a law enforcement agency. Your ability to partner with and protect every individual in this community, regardless of their position in society, is more critical now than ever. Always remember to treat everyone you meet in a manner that shows respect, professionalism, and is how you would want your loved ones treated. Never forget that you are the chosen few who get the honor of wearing this badge. Don't ever take that lightly. Your actions will either honor the men and women that came before you or bring discredit to their sacrifice. You have already proven you can overcome significant challenges during your time at the academy. Use this success to propel you forward, knowing that your LPD family is here to support you. At this time, I'd ask Captain Lisa Singleton to come forward to lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance.
Good afternoon. Congratulations to you all, and welcome to everyone who's here to observe this special ceremony. Please stand if you're able and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
This time we'll have our invocation by Chaplain James Whitaker. Jim is a long-time friend of this community and this department. I think 31 years, I believe, he's been affiliated. Served 8 years as a city council member, 2 years as a mayor, and has been our chaplain for, I know, at least as long as I've been here. So we greatly appreciate your continued dedication. If you would come forward this time, Mr. Whitaker, for our invocation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. Congratulations. You've come a long ways. Proud of you, every single one of you. So let's ask the Lord's blessing over what's taking place here this afternoon. Most gracious and loving Heavenly Father, we do come. This is a celebration. And all throughout Scriptures, there were celebrations that you instituted So you're a God of celebration, and so we are here and we rejoice and we give you thanks for this opportunity to honor these new police officers. They've come a long ways from the day that they were hired until they reached this particular point. And so I pray blessings over them and ask, Lord, that everything that we do here today would bring honor to them, but more than that, it would bring honor to you. In your precious name, amen.
Thank you, Jim. Now I'll ask Deputy Chief Ken Edwards to come forward for a recognition of staff.
Good afternoon. Before I recognize those seated behind me, I just want to take an opportunity to congratulate you 7 on completing the Basic Academy. Congratulations. And as you begin your journey as Lynchburg police officers, it is essential to remember the importance of knowing the community that you will serve. Understanding the unique characteristics, traditions, and values of the Lynchburg community is crucial to build trust and establish positive relationships. This knowledge allows you to be proactive in your approach to policing and to work in partnership with the community to address challenges and build a safer and more vibrant place to live. But it is not enough to only know the present-day Lynchburg community. You must also understand its history, including the history of policing in Lynchburg. Policing has a complex history in the United States. Understanding this history can help you better understand the community's perspectives on policing and identify areas where changes and improvements are needed. It is essential to acknowledge that the past can have lingering effects on the present. Some members of our community may have experienced discrimination or injustice at the hands of the police, and it is critical to recognize and address these past wrongs and work to repair any damage caused. As police officers, you have a unique opportunity to serve our community and make a positive difference in people's lives. You will face many challenges and difficult situations, but with the knowledge, skills, and values you have gained during your training, you are equipped to handle them with professionalism, integrity, and compassion. Always treat every individual with respect and dignity, even if you don't believe they deserve it at the time. Like I mentioned this morning when we met this morning, people will remember how you made them feel long after they have forgotten what you said. In closing, I want to congratulate you all once again and remind you that you are now part of a proud tradition of law enforcement that spans generations. As you begin your careers, I encourage you to honor that tradition and continue to learn and grow as professionals, always striving to serve your community with distinction and excellence. So congratulations. I'll move on to recognize those seated behind me, starting to my far left. As the chief's already mentioned, we have Chaplain Jim Whitaker, longtime supporter of the LPD, former member of City Council, and former mayor of Lynchburg. Next is Captain Nick Leger. Nick is the Field Operations 2 Bureau Captain. Next is Captain Daniel Meehan. He's captain of Field Operations 1 Bureau, and he's currently serving as our Field Operations Bureau Deputy Chief. Next is Chief Ryan Zudema, followed by the Honorable K. Todd Swisher, Clerk of Lynchburg Circuit Court, and Todd is also a retired LPD member. After 26 years of service, he retired in 2017 as Deputy Chief. We next have Todd Barley. He's a lieutenant with the Liberty University Police Department, and he retired in 2020 after 23 years of service, was a detective up in our Investigations Bureau. Next, we have Captain Lisa Singleton. She's our Administration Bureau Captain. And finally, but not least, is Lieutenant Craig Dowdy. He's lieutenant of our Special Investigations Division, and he is currently serving as our Investigations Bureau Captain. Thank you.
Now I ask Acting Deputy Chief Daniel Meehan to come forward for a recognition of our special guest today.
Thank you, Chief. Good afternoon, folks. Pleasure to be here with y'all on such a special day. You have almost gotten there. In just a few short moments, you will walk out of here as police officers, and that is a lot to be proud of. You've accomplished so much. So we have a lot to be thankful for. You folks being with us, family and friends able to attend today. But after 5 days of rain, I don't know about your house, but I am glad to have some skies above me that are not raining. So that is a good thing. It's my job today to recognize some notable folks that are in our presence today. Unfortunately, I can't get through this without my glasses, so I will put them on now. The young officers in front of me will find out shortly, after maybe just a few short weeks in the field, that policing in the city of Lynchburg, and really should be anywhere, is a team sport. It is not just you in uniform, it is not just the chief, and it is certainly not just the command staff or even the other officers around you. You will find that you have people supporting you, working to help get you what you need, working to help support your pay, working to defend you in all walks of life. Some of them will wear uniforms that look like yours, some don't. Some are volunteers, some are elected officials. But they are here to support you, and they do. We have several of those folks with us today, and our staff has worked diligently as they came in today to put together a list. Hopefully we didn't miss anybody, but if you are important and I miss you, I apologize now. Senator Mark Peake, Clerk of Circuit Court and retired Lynchburg police officer, Deputy Chief Todd Swisher, Delegate Wendell Walker, Lynchburg City Sheriff's Office Major Tommy Carter, Mayor Stephanie Reed, City Councilwoman Mary Jane Dolan, City Manager Winter Benda, Blue Ridge Regional Jail Authority's Administrator Chad Lipscomb, Department of Emergency Services Amy McDaniel, Fire Department Chief Greg Wormser and Deputy Chief Jonathan Wright, Human Resources Director Michelle Jackson, Lynchburg Police Foundation members. If you're not familiar with the foundation, this is a group of very important, I would say, civilians and some police folks that work very hard to raise money and support you and provide you with training and equipment. And most recently, they've taken on putting together scholarship funds for the children of Lynchburg police officers. And I'm proud to say that my daughter was one of the recipients here this year. So I thank them for all of their hard work. Present today from that group is retired police officer Eugene Wingfield, Charles Warner, Regina Carter, and Rick Reed. LPD retirees that are present, you may have already had them pointed out, but I'll go over them again. Captain Eugene Wingfield, he's a frequent flyer. We have him in every list. Chief Charles Bennett and Todd Barley. Citizens Police Advisory Group is a group of citizens that we formed many years ago. They help guide us and direct us with our policies and directives. They generally just give us their advice. They're a sounding board for things that we have going on at the police department. We've had them for many years now. They're a great partner of ours and a great supporter. And John Keegan is here from that group today. I wish you all the best of luck. And let's get on with the show.
Thank you. And we have one more guest, and it's not Acting Deputy Chief Meehan's fault. Our Vice Mayor, Chris Frawley, snuck in the back after we'd already gotten names down. So thank you for being here, Vice Mayor. We appreciate that. So you didn't really come here, family members and certainly new officers, to hear all of us just talk all afternoon. We're going to get to the point where you're going to want to get your cameras out if you're a family member. One of two opportunities here in just a second. But this is the part where we're going to have the Honorable K. Todd Swisher, the Circuit Court Clerk, come forward and actually give you your swearing in, which is what you're all here for. So family members, this would be a good time to get your cameras out for that. You already heard a little bit about Todd's background, but he just couldn't get the public service bug out of him, I guess. After almost 7 years, he decided he'd come back and do some more. But we're grateful for his support of our department in this ceremony. So thank you, Todd.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I'd like to offer 7 of you my congratulations. I'm very, very excited for you. You now are part of a great organization, and we'll work with some of the best men and women you'll ever meet. All of us have a responsibility to find some meaningful way of impacting our community in a positive way. And If you do this right, you'll have the opportunity to impact your city, Lynchburg, in a way that few others will ever know, and that's pretty special, okay? Please never lose sight of that. If you would, please stand and raise your right hand, and I'll administer your oath, and please repeat after me. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Virginia, and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all the duties incumbent on me as a police officer for the city of Lynchburg, according to the best of my ability. So help me God. Well done. Thank you. You may be seated.
So next we'll do our presentation of the badge and gun to our officers. It's a Lynchburg Police Department tradition to formally present our newly sworn officers with their sidearm and badge. As a part of this ceremony, we have members of the community come forward to pin on officers' badges for the first time. This badge is a symbol of the trust that our community is extending to you. It is also a legacy of 218 years of law enforcement service that has been worn by those that came before you and is now being passed down to you. Never betray the trust that has been given to you by our community or by those who have worn this badge before you. The men and women who wore these badges are a part of the history of our department, and you are now continuing that important work. With today's ceremony, we are continuing this tradition that will recognize an officer who previously wore your badge. We'll give you more information about the history of each one when we present our new officers with their badge. At this time, I'll ask Captain Nick Leger to come forward. We'll transition a little bit into presenting the badges and the weapons. So when I call your name, if you can, I don't know if we're on here. Yep. When I call your name, if you can come forward, and also the family member who's doing the pinning, you can please come forward at that time as well. First, ask Jacob Adams to come forward. Jacob will be receiving badge number 108. This badge was previously worn by retired officer Detective Todd Barley from 1997 to 2020, over 23 years of service. And keep in mind he's here too, okay? So you got to treat it real well, all right? Detective Barley spent the majority of his career in our Criminal Investigations Division, and the trait that I'm going to pass along to you with this badge is his compassion for victims, especially children.
Jacob was born in Lima, Peru, and raised in Asbury, New Jersey by his mom and dad, Steve and Michelle Adams. Jacob attended Warren Hills High School, where he played soccer and ran track and field. After graduating in 2009, he was accepted into Liberty University, where he received a bachelor's in history. Before getting involved in law enforcement, Jacob worked in the mental health field for 11 years as a direct support professional. In 2021, he joined the Virginia National Guard as a specialist in the 1st Battalion, 116th Regiment. He is currently enrolled in the Officer Candidate School at Fort Barfoot, Virginia, from which he plans to graduate next year. After years of working in mental health, Jacob believes that he can help create a deeper understanding between law enforcement and the mental health community and promote a more harmonious relationship with the citizens we protect. He chose Lynchburg Police Department because of his deep admiration for the city, as it holds an immense amount of sentimental value to him and his family. While a sophomore at Liberty University, Jacob met his soulmate and best friend, Victoria, in French class. Jacob and Victoria have been married for 8 years and are proud parents of 2 boys, Lorenzo, 24 months, and Santiago, who is soon to arrive in early July. Jacob's hobbies mainly involve spending quality time with his family and preparing his house for the arrival of Santiago, and Jacob's wife, Victoria, helped him pin his badge today. I present to you Officer Jacob Adams.
So how this works works is they do one with me, and then they take one that's actually frameable for your wall with that one.
Good afternoon. I just want to say it's been a long journey, and I'm just happy that I can be in a position now where I can begin to make a difference in my community. There are a lot of people that I want to thank. It's been a year process for me, and I'll start with thanking my wife and my family for all of the support that they've given me over this past year. For constantly encouraging me, even during the dark days, even during the days where, I didn't know if I'd be able to do what needed to be done, but they've always been there for me, and I am truly grateful for their kind words and their love during this time. I also want to thank specifically this whole class, this Class 101. You guys have become a family to me, and I am truly grateful to have undergone this journey with you guys. I'd also like to thank my class, Class 100, and all of those guys who, throughout this whole time, were very encouraging, very loving, and also got me through some difficult times. As a new officer, as I said before, I am very grateful to be given this privilege, and Lynchburg Police Department, they didn't give up on me, and I swear that I will never give up on this city. So thank you all.
Ask Kimberly Brown to come forward. Kimberly will be receiving badge number 214. This badge was previously worn by Captain Lisa Singleton. Again, she's in the audience, just so you know, Kimberly. Lisa started her career here in 2002 and has served for 21 years so far. She spent time in patrol, in our Vice Narcotics Unit, Criminal Investigations as a staff officer, and in our Administration Division. With this badge, I'm passing along Lisa's attention to detail and her ability to stand up for herself.
Kimberly was born in Bedford, Virginia, and raised in Forest. Her mother is Maria Brown, and her father is Joseph Brown. Kimberly graduated from Brookville High School with an advanced diploma. She participated in soccer, softball, and ran cross country. Kimberly also participated in basketball and was a team captain her senior year. Kimberly was a waitress at Carmela's at the Loft before joining the LPD as a cadet. Kimberly wanted to have a career that meant something, not only to her, but to her future family. She thought that law enforcement service would be a rewarding choice. Kimberly chose the LPD because they had a cadet position at the time. However, Kimberly says that she stayed with the LPD because of the work environment. Kimberly enjoys hanging out with her family, being outdoors, and playing sports. Kimberly's parents, Maria and Joseph, have helped her pin her badge on today. And now I present to you Officer Kimberly Brown.
I just want to start off by thanking my family and friends, thanking Chief Zudema and the command staff for giving me this chance and opportunity, and hopefully I can live up to it and do good. So, thank you.
Ask Mitchell Gates to come forward. Mitchell will be receiving badge number 255. No pressure, Mitchell, but this badge was worn by Deputy Chief Ken Edwards from 1996 to present. During his career here, Deputy Chief Edwards has spent time in patrol, our Criminal Investigations Division, as a member of our tactical unit, our crisis negotiations team, and on and on. He's either worked in or supervised about every area we have. With this badge, I want to pass along to you his consistency and his ability to stay calm no matter the circumstances.
Mitchell was born in Charlotte, North Carolina, to Michael and Stephanie Gates and grew up in a small town called Waxhaw, I think I got that right, which is about an hour outside of Charlotte. Mitchell attended Parkwood High School there, where he played golf for the school as well. In 2019, he graduated early and began attending Liberty University, where he studied business administration. He participated in numerous different intramural sports and graduated cum laude in December 2022. Through the summer of his high school and college years, Mitchell worked for True Crafted Catering Company, where he catered for many different events around Charlotte. And Mitchell has always had a passion for serving, and with his time at Liberty University, he grew connected with the community around him and wanted to pursue his career in law enforcement for the city of Lynchburg. Mitchell proposed last October to his fiancee, Eden Harnage. They met their sophomore year at Liberty and are excited to be getting married this October. Mitchell likes to spend his free time doing outdoor activities such as hiking, camping, and playing golf. He also enjoys playing the guitar and is active in his church here in Lynchburg. Mitchell is a huge North Carolina Tar Heel fan and has not missed a Duke Carolina game since he was born. Mitchell's father, Michael, has been here to help him pin his badge today. And I now present to you Officer Mitchell Gates.
I'd like to thank, obviously, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for putting me up here today. I wouldn't be where I'm at without my faith. My family, who's just followed me. Gosh, my mom's crying, so hold it in. My family, who supported me through each and every step, sent me to college, and now I'm here. This is where I wanted to be. They knew it since I was 14, 15. I wanted to be a police officer, and I made it. Yeah, thank you guys.
We'll take good care of him, Mom, I promise. Now ask Bryce Knowles to come forward. Bryce will be receiving badge number 257. This badge was previously worn by retired Lieutenant Tony Martin from 1990 to 2017, 27 years, and he didn't have quite enough either. He's come back to work for us part-time as a training coordinator. You've probably had a chance to meet him. But during his time, he worked in patrol, spent time in CID, and was passionate about his service on our tactical unit. With this badge, I give you Tony's focus on officer safety and on being a lifelong learner.
Bryce was born in Lynchburg and grew up between Lynchburg and Orange City, Florida. His parents are Philip and Camden. Bryce graduated from Liberty Christian Academy and participated in wrestling and football. Bryce served in the United States Army as an infantryman as well. Bryce wanted to continue to serve with Lynchburg and keep the community he grew up in safe. Bryce met Hannah Witten while attending LCA and has been married for over 3 years, and they have a son together, Colvin Knowles, who is 9 months old. Bryce's wife, Hannah, pinned on his badge today. I now present Officer Bryce L. Knowles.
Well, I'd like to thank, first, obviously, God. I'd like to thank God for everything. I'd like to thank my family, my dad, or my parents, and for raising me the way they did. My wife and my son for being there with me this entire experience and all the other experiences we've had together. Coaches throughout the years, family, friends, mentors, just everybody who's helped me get to this spot. Thank you for the Chief Zudema and the command staff for giving me this opportunity, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Now ask David Pettit to come forward. All right. Got a fan club. I like that. All right. So David will be receiving badge number 162. Again, no pressure, but this badge belonged to retired Captain Eugene Wingfield, who's in the audience here today. This badge was worn during his time here. He spent from 1974 until 2005, 31 years. And again, like several others that you've heard about, couldn't quite get enough. He went to the Commonwealth Attorney's Office as an investigator for a little while, and then was our circuit court clerk for many years, and now serves as our president of our police foundation. So no pressure at all to carry this badge. Eugene spent the majority of his career in our criminal investigations division in a variety of roles and ranks. And it should go without me saying this, but with this badge, I pass along Eugene's dedication to his fellow officers, the police department, and our community.
David was born and raised in Johannesburg, South Africa, by his parents Wayne and Leanne. As the only member of his family in the United States, David is a proud naturalized U.S. citizen with a remaining and strong love for his country of birth. David graduated high school in South Africa, during which time he achieved an advanced level qualification in classical piano performance through Trinity College London, where he also took up woodworking and cabinet making, as well as competing in cricket, soccer, and swimming. In South Africa, David served as a rescue swimmer and crew member with the National Sea Rescue Institute, conducting rapid water rescue and recovery operations alongside members of South African Public Safety. David enlisted in the United States Army as an infantryman in February 2019 as part of the 1st Battalion, 116th Infantry Regiment, 29th Infantry Division. During his time in the military, he has served on multiple mobilizations to include working alongside first responders and a deployment to Africa in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. David's military service and time spent working with first responders, seeking an active and meaningful career outside of an office cubicle, and a desire to make a difference, however small, are some of the driving factors that led him to a career in law enforcement. I promise I'm almost done. Busy guy. After working with the Lynchburg Police Department in 2020 during one of his mobilizations, he made contact with LPD recruiting personnel as his interest in law enforcement grew. David returned from deployment near the end of 2022 and graduated summa cum laude from Liberty University with a bachelor's degree in information technology and a minor in criminal justice. It was at this time that David finally decided to take steps forward towards a law enforcement career with the LPD. He actually kept Officer Cottrell's business card in his wallet for 2 whole years. David's interests include anything encompassing the words outdoors or adventure. He is passionate about professional and responsible firearms ownership, handling, and training. He loves to cook, read, write, and hitting the gym frequently. His close friend and law enforcement officer, Grant Shepard, is who pinned on his badge today. I now present Officer David S. Pettit.
I'd just like to thank the Lord for his faithfulness, for getting me here today. None of my family could be here, but I just want to thank them. I love you guys. I love all of you very much. Miss you guys. I just want to thank you guys for everything that you've done for me. And I want to thank my friends that could be here to support me. And you guys, Class 101, thanks guys for everything. Couldn't have done it without you. I'd like to thank Chief Zudema and the command staff for giving me this opportunity. The personnel and recruiting unit, Officer Cottrell, Sergeant Olivier, Lieutenant Gillespie, and Sergeant Trent. Yeah, thanks guys.
I don't know about the rest of you. I'm feeling slightly underaccomplished right now after hearing that. But a really neat story of David is he served with the 116th during some challenging times for our community in the summer of 2020 when the National Guard was here. And I think that story tells me that even out of bad times come good things, which is a young man who decided as a part of that he was going to come and serve our community here. So we're grateful for that. This time I'd like Riley Phillips to come forward. Riley will be receiving badge number 172. This badge was previously worn by retired Sergeant Mark Rolfus, who served 20 years with our department from 2003 to 2023. He served in our patrol unit as well as in our training unit. He actually started his career at 40 years old and came in the door and said, "I'm going to do 20 years here," and most of us laughed at him. He had the last laugh because he went out the door after 20 years at age 60 and retired just recently. With this badge, I present to you Sergeant Rolfs' dependability and his work ethic.
Riley was born and raised in State College, Pennsylvania. His parents are Jeff Phillips and Nicole Ennis. Riley graduated from Phillipsburg Osceola High School. There he played baseball for 4 years. He then attended St. Vincent College in Western Pennsylvania. There he continued to play baseball, was the vice president of the college's Criminal Justice Honor Society, and obtained a bachelor's degree in criminology, law, and society. Riley worked briefly in private security after college. Riley surrounded himself with numerous individuals who were in law enforcement. He got to see how much they enjoyed their careers and how much of an impact they made on their communities. He chose to work for the Lynchburg Police Department due to the professionalism it displayed. He felt as though the LPD's culture was a fit for him and was a place where he could make a difference. Riley is an avid archery hunter. Whenever he is not working, he more than likely is doing something related to bow hunting. He also continues to play baseball in an adult league in Roanoke. His other hobbies include spending time with friends, lifting weights, running, and watching movies. Riley's mother, Nicole Ennis, is who pinned on his badge today, and I now present Officer Riley O. Phillips.
All right, I'll make it real short and sweet. Everyone's had some great speeches. Not a whole lot more can be said. Just want to thank my friends and my family. Couldn't get here without them. Class 101, appreciate you guys so much. Really would like to thank the command staff, the chief, personnel recruiting unit for taking a chance on me. And thank you guys, appreciate it.
Last but certainly not least, I ask Cristel Santiago Rodriguez to come forward. Cristel will be receiving badge number 148. This badge was previously worn by retired officer Anna Mae Westling. Anna Mae served the Lynchburg Police Department for 23 years from 1988 to 2011. She spent the majority of her career in patrol, and with this badge, I pass along her positivity and her ability to never meet a stranger.
Cristel was born in San Juan, Puerto Rico, to Awilda Rodriguez and Edwin Santiago. She was raised in the city of Carolina, Puerto Rico. Cristel graduated from Dr. Gilberto Concepcion de Gracia High School in Puerto Rico. While in high school, Cristel was part of the drama club and in a swimming team all the way through college. She is currently earning a bachelor's degree in criminal psychology from Liberty University. Cristel joined the Army in 2016 and a few years later re-enlisted in the Vermont Air National Guard, where she is fulfilling an 8-year commitment. Cristel also worked in childcare, teaching preschool, and provided day treatment to students who needed extra help in school. Cristel was unsure if she wanted to become a law enforcement officer at first. However, thanks to some amazing people she met at the gym who worked for the LPD, Officers Shelton and Waterman, they convinced her and helped her understand that this is the line of work that she would enjoy and love doing. Cristel enjoys going off-roading and camping, hiking, paddleboarding, powerlifting, and traveling to see her family in Puerto Rico. Cristel's friends, Officer Ray Shelton and Officer Garrett Waterman, have pinned on her badge today, and I now present to you Officer Cristel M. Santiago Rodriguez.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for Ray and Waterman to pin my badge. Sorry, I'm very nervous. Thank you, all of you guys, for supporting me throughout the whole academy when I had such a hard time struggling with a class or the test. I do want to thank my mother. She could not be here today, but she sent me a very lengthy text saying how proud she is of me, and my eyes are watering. But thank you, everyone, for the support, and yeah, thank you, Chief Zuidema.
Let's give that full group one more big round of applause. That was the hard part. You can just sit back and relax now for the rest of it, okay? In the year 2000, the International Association of Chiefs of Police developed the Law Enforcement Oath of Honor as a means of formally communicating and reinforcing the critical importance of right and honorable action within this profession. I'm proud and happy to say that a member of that committee with the IACP that actually developed that is here today, which is retired Chief Chuck Bennett. So Chuck, thank you for your involvement in that. Your legacy certainly lives on. Another tradition we have here at the LPD is we like to administer the oath of honor to our officers. So family members, another camera moment if you don't already have them out. And the way we do that is we ask a retired member of our department to come forward, and that's very intentional. We do that because, again, we are trying to connect the long legacy of this department to our newest officers here, and there's not a better way to do that than, in this case, to ask retired Detective Todd Barley to participate. So a little background on Todd. Todd has served with the LPD, as you, I think, already heard, from December 29, 1997 through December 31st of 2020. During his 23 years here, he was both a mentor and a role model to countless officers. Todd's passion was to help young children who had been victimized through his work as a detective in our Criminal Investigations Division. Todd has also served our country for 32 years as a member of the United States Army, where he spent 14 years on active duty and 18 years in the Army Reserves. He retired as a first sergeant drill instructor right here in Lynchburg. Todd, like you've heard before, wasn't quite done there. Todd has decided in his retirement job that he has joined the Liberty University Police Department, where he currently serves as a lieutenant. So at this time, I'd ask Todd to come forward for a few comments and to administer our oath of honor.
Congratulations to each and every one of you, and welcome to the LPD family. I had the honor of serving for quite a few years, and it truly is a great place to be and a great community to serve. So I wish you each luck and know that you'll be prayed for daily. All right, I now invite every sworn law enforcement officer present, both current and retired, to stand, raise your right hand, and repeat after me the law enforcement oath of honor. On my honor. On my honor. I will never betray my badge. I will never betray my badge. My integrity, my character. My integrity, my character. Or the public trust. Or the public trust. I will always have the courage. I will always have the courage. To hold myself and others. To hold myself and others. Accountable for our actions. Accountable for our actions. I will always uphold the Constitution. I will always uphold the Constitution. The community. The community. And the agency I serve. And the agency I serve. So help me God. So help me God. Thank you.
So all members of the LPD are part of the fabric of our city, and these 7 new officers are no exception. Joining the LPD today are a golfer, a bow hunter, a rescue swimmer, a waitress, a mental health professional, an Army veteran, and a power lifter. They come from Pennsylvania, Lynchburg, North Carolina, Bedford, Puerto Rico, South Africa, and Peru. They are also called father, husband, brother, sister, daughter, and son. Very simply, they are you. They are members of our community. To our new officers, each day in this honorable profession brings new challenges and also new rewards. This work is truly a calling. I know you will serve the residents of our city with dedication, respect, and compassion. The past several months have prepared you for your new roles. You are well trained, well equipped, and you have 200+ members of your LPD family, and the overwhelming majority of our community looking out for you. The learning process, however, never stops. It is imperative for you to ask for help when you need it, and then listen to the advice of your fellow officers and the expertise of our community partners. They have real-world experience that will help guide you as you transition into your new roles. Remain positive. Sounds simple, doesn't it? It can be really hard to do in this job. Every day when you end your shift, remember the good. You have many roles and responsibilities at the PD. However, my first and most important expectation of you is that you go home safe every single night. This includes taking care of your own mental wellness. You must prioritize this above anything else. Be professional. Be proud to wear this uniform and this badge. To our new officers' families, as you've heard several times, the Lynchburg Police Department is a family. You are now a part of our LPD family. We are here to support you as well. The hardest job in America is not what these 7 signed up for. The hardest job in America is being the family member of one of these 7. So at this time, I would ask all family members of these officers to please stand and be recognized. Thank you. In closing, congratulations to our 7 new officers. Remember, you are here to serve our community. You are their partners and their protectors. Please be safe as you do that. Prior to concluding the ceremony, I'd like to recognize a few folks. Staff from our Personnel and Recruiting Unit, Ms. Tammy Blanchette, Officer Alan Cottrell, Sergeant Sidney Olivier, and Lieutenant Matt Gillespie. Lieutenant Gillespie's going to get me mad at me for this because he's already starting to squirm in the back as I say this. But this is Lieutenant Gillespie's last group that he will bring through. He is retiring in just a couple of weeks. And Matt has served honorably, not just this city, but served our country as a United States Marine as well. Matt, it has been a pleasure to work with you, an honor. You have served us in this community admirably for many, many years. And we're going to miss you, and your legacy lives on through these 7 officers and all you've done for our community. So thank you. I also want to take a quick moment to thank the following LPD employees for their time, effort, and planning and organizing and setting up today's events, as well as some city staff. These things don't happen without folks getting these things prepped. So our folks from Community Relations Public Engagement with the city, PD members Kylie Kidd, Cindy Cosrow, Katie Jennings, Tammy Blanchette, Vicki West, and Lieutenant Greg Coleman. Thank you all for helping put this ceremony together. At this time, I'd ask Chaplain Whitaker to come forward for our benediction.
Thank you, Chief. Chief thought he had the last word. I'm nervous too. Can you believe it? Today has actually arrived. And you are sworn Lynchburg police officers. I congratulate you on your achievements up to this point. Rightfully so, you should be very proud of yourselves. I know that your family and friends in attendance here today are bursting at the seams with pride and admiration. At each swearing-in ceremony, I share the same remarks. Even though some who are here today have actually heard them before, you have not. And as your chaplain, I feel it's important for you as you step into your new role. As a sworn law enforcement officer, your main role will be to maintain and keep the peace within our community. You are given certain powers by law and by the citizens who live here to carry out that responsibility. You, by virtue of your job, can also be called peacemakers. The Bible says in Matthew, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God." That's an awesome thought. This is an honorable profession that you have chosen, one that is vitally important to our citizens and highly regarded by God Himself. In the normal routine of your job in law enforcement, you will encounter individuals who are having a bad day as a result of a traffic stop, an accident, being the victim of a crime, having received the worst news of their lives, or by being accused or in charge with a crime. You will witness all sorts of reactions and responses from these citizens, and some of them will not be pleasant. But you are expected to maintain your professionalism in all situations. You can and are expected to maintain your professionalism. You can keep your cool in every tense circumstance. I know it is possible because I have witnessed it in action day after day by the officers in this department. The way you respond to and treat everyone you encounter on the job and in the community will have a profound impact on that person. You, as a peacemaker, can bring hope to a hopeless situation, calm when there is turmoil, show compassion to someone who is desperate, be kind to an accused, show love to a hurting family, be patient when everyone else is not, and bring joy to a child who looks up to you. By doing all of this, you will be guilty of helping to create a safer environment for us all, and there will be lots of evidence to prove it. As your chaplain, I make myself available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you ever need someone to talk to after a difficult call, to assist with a death notification, or to help with a personal problem of any sort, just give me a call. And as I said earlier today, what you share with me will be kept in strict confidence. One last thing I want to share, and the chief has already said this. The most important thing you have to do every day is not to see how many arrests you can make or how many tickets you can write. No, it's to go home safely to your family at the end of your shift. Let me pray with you as we close. Again, most gracious and loving Heavenly Father, I thank you that you love everybody in this room. Everybody here is important to you. You have called these young officers to be a part of the fabric of this community, and to make a difference in the lives of everyone who lives here. They have had the badge pinned on their uniform. They have been sworn in as police officers. They have been trained and they are ready to move forward with the calling that you have put on their life. Now I pray over them that you would go with them, sit beside them in their automobile, walk before them as they walk up to the door of a house on a call where they don't know who's on the other side of that door. Be with them as they walk up to a vehicle at a traffic stop, not knowing who's sitting in that seat or who might be in the back seat. I pray for their protection. I pray, Father, that you would give them wisdom and knowledge to carry out their responsibilities and to do it in a safe manner. I pray that you will honor them as they serve this community, that you would be with their families, and that you will undergird them, and that the families would know, Father, that you are with them. You will never leave them or forsake them. And Lord, we do pray, as I pray every day, that at the end of their shift, they will go home safely to their families. In your precious name I pray. Amen.
This concludes our ceremony. We invite all of you to join us upstairs. Second floor, if you go out the doors here, there's either an elevator or a stairwell. We'll have somebody with a badge card that can get you in and up. Get off the elevator or stairwell and just kind of do a left turn, and there's a room there, a training room, where we'll have some refreshments. So thank you all for coming, and let's give this group of officers one more hand.